Hi guys, it's Aegis here, and today I'm going to do a promised deck profile before I actually set a deck, which I haven't yet, but probably will be very soon, which is Spike Brothers. So let's get started with the deck profile. Starting Vanguard, I'm using Mega Trainer, nothing special, just a starter. And then next grapefruit, which is the key, is our Deadheat Bullspike. So the deck itself is trying to use the new stuff as much as possible because I sold most of my old stuff and I only have a little bit old stuff left, so I use the new stuff with a little bit old stuff to build a deck, and the key will be him. So first skill is when your unit attacks, you can soul blast 1 and then move all your force marker to that unit. So you're passing your force marker like a football, and then because it's not a once per turn skill, so as long as you got souls, you can keep passing the balls to different units and pump them up. So this is a new mechanic and it's very fun because in the past, like if you're using DP, you're using Kagero, you need to plan your force marker very carefully, because once you place them there, until you write another grapefruit, you are not going to get another force marker, so it just stays there. And like if that unit if the force marker is on a regard circle and your regard is gone and you can't call it regard, then you waste it. But for this card, as long as you have a unit that is attacking, you can soul blast 1 and get that marker. So, and it's not only one, it's all of them. So as long as you keep riding your grapefruits, you fill your souls, and you can also keep passing balls. And then the second skill is also important, but it's once per turn. Vanguard skill. If your unit attack didn't hit and that unit has force marker under it, then you can draw 1 and retire 1 of your opponent regard. So you're attacking them with high power, so usually they will take it, but there are times that they don't want to take it, and as long as they don't, then you can kill the stuff and draw 1 card. So you're gaining advantage no matter what. So that's why this card is interesting and fun. There's a lot of people using the new stuff, not always full spike, but like the grade 2, grade 1 stuff, and using general save rate, because general save rate, say one of your unit put into soul and then call another one from deck and both get 10k, which helps some of the new stuff because they need to soul blast themselves out to maybe draw 1, to maybe stand themselves and also gain power or whatever. But those requires general save rate's help in order to reach that soul, because if you don't have the soul, you're not going to get the effects off, which is kind of not helping out. But with full spike, you don't actually need the soul that much, except for passing balls, so you won't even have a chance to use those stuff because you are going to soul blast a lot, and you don't want to soul blast extra cards unless it's needed. And then I'm running 2 of the Juggernaut maximum. I only got 2, so I'm running 2, but if you have 3, I would suggest you run 3. I don't think you need 4 because you only need to use him like the 10k skill, not a lot, not many times, because you're passing your balls already, so that 10k won't hurt, but of course it's always a bonus, always helpful. But the main thing about this card is the second skill, which is starting off main phase, put this unit in soul, call another Juggernaut, and then shuffle your deck. Putting in the soul helpful spike, and there are cards that always go to the bottom of the deck, for example your spike bouncer or any other certain cards. Then you will keep putting stuff back to your bottom of the deck, and if you are not shuffling your deck, they're just going to stay there and you're not going to get them. Because most of the time, unless you're playing a mega colony and you are surviving long enough, then you might get there. But if not, then probably the whole game you're not going to see those cards again. So Juggernaut help you to shuffle your deck, which is very important. And then I'm running 2 of the Bad End Dragger because he is good, but after a few testing, because most of my matchups are like XL clans, so which is not a very good practice for testing how the deck runs, but it's a very good testing time on how this deck face under pressure. So let's talk about his skill first. Her skill, when he attacks, counter +1 and put 1 of your Riga to the bottom of the deck. During the battle, get 5k and 1 crit. And then when this card is being right on top, you call it to the Riga circle, and as long as you call on that line, your opponent will retire all their Rigas on that line. So what good about this card is, 1, you gain crit, you gain power, and you put your some of your unit that you want to put back to your deck under the bottom of the deck. But again, because you put it in the bottom, you need some stuff to shuffle, which, for example, Juggernaut is helping you out. And then the killing skill I usually won't be able to use, because if I get rushed by XL clans, I probably won't be riding him unless I don't have a full spike. So most of the time I will just call him as a regard, because I won't have time to wait for another turn to ride on him again, call him out and kill something. I don't have the time. For example, when I was like fighting Gold Paladins, when I'm grade 1, they're already on grade 3, so they are already rushing me. So like next turn I'm on grade 2, then they are riding another grade 3. And when I'm on the time to ride grade 3, if I don't get a full spike to try starting to regain what I lost, probably would be too late. So most of the time I won't ride him. But if I'm not fighting a XL clan, maybe fighting a Protect clan or maybe another Force clan, then which the game will usually be a little bit longer, then he's one good option to ride first, because you always want to keep souls for your full spike. And then I'm running one of this Wolf. So his skill is, when he attacks, Soul Blast 3 grade 3s and put any number of Rigas you like to the bottom of the deck. During the battle, when your opponents need to call Guardians from the hand, then they need to call at least the same number as the Rigas that you put to the bottom of the deck. So he's one of a key to help protect yourself for endgame. Or you can just call him, ride him, he still get you a force marker, so doesn't matter. But after a few testing, I think I still need something that when my opponents have a lot of hands, even though I'm passing balls, they might just want to use a PG and just finish me off. So this will at least make them to drop something else, drop more stuff. Then I can regain the advantage. Even if I can't win with him, I can still force my opponent to drop a lot of stuff, and then I'll get back from there. So basically, that's my grade 3 lineups. I was running like 7 grade 3s before. I've been running 9. I've been running a lot of him, but after a few testing, I put in these and I put in him. So one little adjustment you can do is, for example, you can just put one of these to these if you want to have a more kind of faster game. And if you are looking for a longer term, then I think this lineup is working just fine. So next, entering grade 2s, I'm first running 4 brackies, like Juggernaut, gain 10k power, starting off next main phase, help you soul charge, call another copy, shuffle your deck. So basically it's just a grade 2 version of Juggernaut, same usage. And I'm using 2 Spike Bouncer. I see a lot of people running 3 and 4 because he is really helpful. The main reason he's helpful because he just need to be called. Doesn't have to be from hand in order to activate the skill. So you can use something to call him and then use him to call something else. So which is kind of great. So if you do have more, I would suggest you to put at least 1 more for 3 copies. I only have 2, but for now, with this deck, 2 is fine. And also he can choose to counter last 1 and put himself into soul after he attacks to draw 1. So you can feel a soul, you can feel your cards. So very good card to keep. And then I'm running this new guy. So his first skill is when he attacks counter plus 1, he will move all the force marker under him. So basically like full spike, but he's a counter blast version. Because you don't always get into your full spike, so he is another safety net in order to help you to pass force markers. Because you can call him, counter blast 1, move all of them, and maybe he will just get retired. And if you get another one, you can place other stuff there and then call another him. And then when he attacks, counter blast and move the marker there. So you kind of still doing the passing balls acts. And the second skill is when attack hits, when this card attack hits, and if he's under a force marker, then you can retire one of your opponent's regard. So combo a full spike, as long as you attack, you are going to retire something. So your opponent have to choose to take a damage or let you draw 1, but they are going to have a unit killed at least. And it's only attack hit, so you can attack a regard, hit and kill another one. So one way to help you regain your view advantage by killing 2 units that you don't want to see, which is great. And then I'm running 3 of him. The Naruto. So if you can, I would probably -1 to be a bouncer. Let's talk about his skill first. When he appears from hand to Vanguard Regular Circle, counter +1 and put 1 card in the soul. And then you will look at the top card of your deck. The number is same as your Vanguard's grade. And then you can call up to 3 units. And then what's left over will go to the bottom of the deck in any order you choose. So he's a good card. By calling him, counter +1 and put 1 hand into the soul, you can basically look at the top 3 cards of the deck and call back 3 units. That's the most ideal situation, but the thing is he needs to be called from hand. So which sometimes, for example, if you see him from a spike bouncer and you don't have other target, you just call him up and that's it. He won't be able to bring you any units, but because he's going to call 3, so this is kind of a cost that we need to take. But I'm still putting him at 3. One reason is because I don't have enough spike bouncer, but at the same time, as we can see from like VMC, the VMC just ended, and I've also been to like the shop qualifier in the Hong Kong VMC, which the exact VMC will be this coming Sunday. It's the 22nd of September, I think. Yes, 22nd of September. I do see like a lot of people is actually using Murakumo using Hyuga, which Hyuga is going to like kick all your cards back to the deck to destroy your field. so you kind of need something to help you regain the field quickly. So, and he's the guy that helps you do that. For example, if all your regas are gone, next turn you just need to call him, put one card into your soul, you can call back 3 units. And then for example, if you got a Banner Dragger, then you can put something that you call back to your deck anyway, so you're not going to lose a lot of stuff, which is kind of fine. So he's a safety net against Hyuga and easily help you regain your field. But if you think he's too much and you don't have, like me, you only got 2 Spike Bouncer, you can even put one more of this, which is also working fine too. And then entering our great ones. First, I'm running 4 Wonder Boy. What he does is similar to Bracky, similar to Juggernaut. Shuffle your deck, and what he's great is when he appears, you put 1 unit from your drop zone, which is not a great one, to the bottom of the deck, and you get 5k power. So he helps you recycle, and then you can use his skill to shuffle your deck first and then put something back, and next turn do the same, keep shuffling your deck, which is totally fine. And help you recycle stuff, keep your key units back to your deck so that you can superior call them, you can draw them, put back triggers, fill in your soul. So great card to still keep and using. And then 2 J-Roll Stinger, mainly because I only got 2 copies. If you can have 1 more, feel free to chuck in 1 more. Nothing much to say, like Spike Bouncer. Just try to help you call back a field, and he gains the power for that called unit, so just great. And then I think it's Offensive Hunter. I can't remember his name. So what is great about this card is first, when you ride at him, you can call him as a regular circle. So you get a free unit as long as you ride on him. But the cost is you are having 1 soul less because you call this card from your basically from your soul to field. And then when you boost it with this card, if Soul Blast 1 during the battle, he get 2k, he will become a 10k booster, and then during the battle ends, draw 1 and put this card to the bottom of the deck. So if you're like facing Hyuga, then you will be using his skill to keep your hand size big and trying to reduce your field so that you don't lose too many cards. Just by Hyuga doing his stuff and sending more back, then you gain nothing. But do keep in mind that your soul is important, so don't use his skill too much. But he can help you sometimes if you need to draw an extra card. Or you don't have your full spike and you kind of need something to soul blast key units from drop, and so that you can recycle them back to your deck, then that's where it comes from. And then I'm also running this devil guy. So his first skill is when he attacks his as a Vanguard, then you can draw 1. So he's a very good second player riding option. If you're going second, you run on him first and then attack trying to draw 1. So great. If you're like first player, then you can ride him first so that you can call him out next turn without wasting anything. And then the second skill is when he boosts by counter blasting 1, then you can move all the force marker to the boosted unit circle. So another way to passing balls, as this deck is very relying on how well you plan your force markers and passing them around so that you can keep your power. Every attack will likely be 30, 40, 50, 60k. So these are the guys that trying to help you to keep the momentum keep the pressure so that you can win faster. And then entering triggers. So I'm running 7 crits, 5 draws and 4 heals. I was thinking about 8 crits, but I still kind of like 1 extra draw because I do need to put cards from my hand to soul. And of course PG need extra hands, so I kind of like to have more hands, but at the same time, because I'm on high power, I still want to make the power useful. That's why I put in more crits, so that as long as I get a crit and I'm using a high power attack, then opponent will need to drop a PG, they need to drop a lot of hands, or else I need to take 2 damage or even more if I got a double crit. So that's how I think the deck should work. But you also do hear how I can actually make the deck better by having more Juggernauts, having a little bit more Spike Bouncer, maybe having a little bit more Zero Slinger, which I don't think you need. But Bouncer and Juggernaut, if you do have the budget, which they are not expensive anyway, but sometimes they are hard to find because they're old cards. And like me, because I'm not going to get this deck as one of my main decks, and I'm building it because I'm cracking the whole case, so it's still fun to play with this deck, and I do win a lot of games. And as you can see on my previous fight videos, I'm fighting a Hyuga deck. It's not exactly the same build as the VMC build because my friend don't have the PRs, but still it's a very intense match, and you can see how I actually regain my field and stay alive long enough so that I can actually win that game. Yeah, so that's it for this deck. And just a little side, I did bought the Vanguard EX and I get it already. If you are like following my Twitter, following my Instagram, you will know the news already because I've already posted my photos up. And of course we are going to get a Excavate, which is like this. So a very nice foiling, which is kind of like the old foiling style, and of course it's an old art, and it's actually my first Excavate because when this set was out, I'm cracking the set with Kawadaku, and he is keeping the roll stuff, I'm keeping the Kagero stuff, so this is actually my first Excavate, which is very nice because I still do have some like G errors, roll patterns, and he is definitely going to be useful. So do expect me to do a little bit of like streaming. It might not be a very full setup because I don't have a capture card, so I will need to rely on the PS4 to do the job, but I will see what I can do. And you might even see me streaming before I put this video up, so when you see it, you do. So I'm not too sure about the scheduling, maybe because I got the game right now and I'm recording this, so there's a chance that I'm actually playing before I put this video up, but doesn't matter. Just if you see my stream, come in and say hi. If I can get my mic working, then I will reply you guys. If not, then I will see, maybe if it's on YouTube, then I can see if I can type in a comment, because we are fighting Vanguard, so there's always some little time space between turns that I can maybe reply some of the message by typing, but best if I can just talk and answer you guys, and that's even better. So not going to make this video any longer. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.